So this illusion of I'm healed, so I've arrived. This illusion of once I get here, I'll be good. We have to throw it away. That was my thought process. Oh, once I get healed, I'm good. Once I heal from all this crap, I'm good. All of that, no. That was the main thought pattern that was hindering me from truly experiencing this fullness, from truly experiencing everything that I'm supposed to experience on this journey. And the reason why that thought is so hindering and why that thought is sheer sabotage is because life keeps happening, honey. Once I get there, I'll be good. But guess what? Life is going to happen. Hey, it's your girl Dorcas, and welcome back to the Dorcas Pittman podcast, where I am on this journey of empowering her to drop the cape and heal for real. This is the space where courage, clarity, and strategy meets real healing. So let's have a conversation today, a real conversation today. Because what if the way that you've been thinking about healing is actually slowing you down? What if it's hindering you? You know, I often say that healing is a journey, which it is, but the problem comes in when we begin to treat it like a destination we're trying to arrive at as fast as possible. And that was an issue I had. I was so eager to arrive at the destination of being healed that I didn't fully embrace the journey of healing. And that is why I want to have that conversation with you today, because I don't want you to get stuck in this cycle or miss the most important parts of your journey, being so focused on the destination of it, the thought of it being a destination and not a true process. So let's have a conversation, because being overly focused or hyper focused on the end goal of healing, that end goal of being whole, being free, no longer being bothered or triggered by our past, being so focused on that can actually hinder your healing, because you begin to miss important steps. You begin to miss some of the things that God needs to show you in the journey. Because healing isn't something that you just complete. It is actually something that you continuously live out on a day-to-day basis. I thought that once I healed from all of the child and early adult trauma, that I've arrived. Not realizing that this is something that I have to continuously live out on a day-to-day basis. Just like I survived in the trauma on a day-to-day basis, I have to continuously live out my healing on a day-to-day basis. And that's the conversation I want to have with you today. And I'm glad that you are choosing to heal and choosing to embrace this journey, but I don't want you to get so focused on the end goal. Don't get so focused on the end goal and miss everything that's in between. Because like I said, healing is not a finish line. It is not a finish line. It is a way of living. Choosing to live in freedom every day, choosing to live in wholeness every day, choosing to surrender whatever pains and things we go through daily to God. Healing is a way of living, not just a finish line. Because when we rush healing just to get to the finish line, what often happens is that we begin to perform it instead of experience it. And I told you in the earlier episodes when I transitioned from Beyond the Healing to the Dorcas Pittman podcast is that I took off the mask of my trauma, the mask of pretending when I healed from all the things that I experienced earlier in my life, and I traded it for the mask of healing. So I went from hiding behind the pain to hiding behind the healing. So I really wasn't experiencing healing. I was performing it because I hadn't learned a very important step. Is that I have to live this thing out every day. And living it out for me may be different than living it out for you. My living out my healing required a different level of me showing up as me. That is what it required of me. And it may be different for you. So when we rush the process, when we rush healing, when we rush to get to this finish line, when we rush to get to this destination, we are bound to skip stages. We're bound to skip stages, but still expect to experience the wholeness that comes with trusting the process and fully experiencing the process and allowing God to unfold it in stages. Rushing equals you skipping, but still expecting the end result. I think about when somebody buy a new house, and it's you rush to build the house, right? Yes, the house looks good on the outside. You may have your finishes on the inside. But if when they rush to build it, after a while, you begin to see the results of the rush. Cabinets begin to fall off the wall. Your baseboards start lifting. Your hardwood, your quote unquote, your floors begin to buckle up. It begins to show because it was a rush build. It was a rushed process. You were so eager to get to the finish line when they told you that they can have your home built in 5 months instead of the 9 months. Then you said, cool, let's get in 5 months. And what you fail to realize that they skipped some stages. They skipped some parts. It looks good on the outside, and it looks good to the naked eye on the inside. But as you're living in it, as you are going through the day-to-day operations of being in this home, you begin to notice that it was a rushed job, even though it looks good. Even though it looks good. So that's what happens. You begin to you look good on the outside, and it looks like you're healed. But as day-to-day life happens, you begin to see the rushed product. You begin to experience the rushed product. Because certain things still trigger you, certain things are still bothering you, and this is not the wholeness that you thought you were supposed to have at the finish line. But you rushed it. And one thing I learned is that true empowerment and true restoration are revealed in the process of healing, not just the outcome. That empowerment to be bold, to be courageous, that empowerment that gives you the courage to break your silence, to stand in your truth, no longer in shame, no longer in fear and pride. That restoration, that restorativeness that comes from God, those are revealed in the process, not just the outcome. not just the outcome. And so what I had to do was give myself permission to heal in real time. That's it. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing up to you weekly in as me, Dorcas Pittman, giving myself permission to heal in real time. Yes, I have healed from so many things. Yes, but healing is a journey, and I am showing up and allow in weekly with you and healing in real time, because there are still some things that God is showing me on this journey that I'm healing in real time. And I could only embrace that by releasing the pressure to be fully healed and choose to honor where I am while while I continue to grow, while I continue to become. I had to give myself permission to heal in real time and release that pressure to be fully healed and all of those things, while choosing to honor where I am, while I continue to become, continue to grow. So I pause to ask, are your thoughts about healing hindering you? Are they hindering you? You know, 2 Corinthians 4:16 says, therefore we do not lose heart, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. And the key there is day by day. That's not a one-time arrival. That is a continuous renewal day by day. This is a day by day process. This is a day by day journey. Inwardly, we are being renewed day by day. So this illusion of I'm healed, so I've arrived. This illusion of once I get here, I'll be good. We have to throw it away. That was my thought process. Oh, once I get healed, I'm good. Once I heal from all this crap, I'm good. All of that, no. That was the main thought pattern that was hindering me from truly experiencing this fullness, from truly experiencing everything that I'm supposed to experience on this journey. And the reason why that thought is so hindering and why that thought is sheer sabotage is because life keeps happening, honey. Once I get there, I'll be good. But guess what? Life is going to happen. And you are going to always, as long as you have breath in your body, you are going to go through things. There is going to be pain. There is going to be suffering. There is going to be heartache. That's life. So having this thought process that once I get there, I'll be good. Nah, because life is going to happen. It's going to happen. And even though the thought of molestation is no longer a trigger, there's going to be things in life that you go through that will trigger you. And once you learn how to respond to those triggers, that's healing. There are still areas that God is healing in my life, but I've learned how to respond to those triggers while I am on the journey of God healing those areas. So yes, I've healed from so many other things. And in healing from those things, I've learned how to respond to triggers. So now that because life keeps happening and I'm going through things, and I'm going through other traumatic experiences, that I am trusting the process of healing. I've learned how to respond to the triggers while I'm navigating this healing journey. Here's a thought. You don't arrive healed and stay there. You grow in how you live healed. You don't arrive healed and stay there. You grow in how you live healed. That was a pause on purpose. You grow in how you live healed. You grow in how you live healed because when life happens and you go through other painful, traumatic experiences, you don't respond the same way you used to. You don't shut down the way you used to. You don't isolate the way you used to. You ask for help, which is not something you used to do. And because of that, you continue to grow because you are living healed. Yeah. Because you are living healed. So we can't just focus on the end goal. We can't just focus on the end goal. Because when you focus solely on that, and like I stated before, you start rushing the process. Not only that, you judge yourself for not being there yet. And then in judging yourself for not being there yet, you begin to suppress those feelings, those emotions. You begin to suppress instead of process what you're going through. And because you said you're on this healing journey, that means you can't renege. That's how you begin to perform healing instead of actually doing the work. You see how that hinders the process? You see how these thought patterns, or how you think about your healing journey can hinder you? It's not an end goal. And can I tell you something? You're not behind, so stop rushing. You're not behind. You're not behind the 8 ball, so stop rushing. You're just in the process. You're just in the thick of it. That's all that is. So stop rushing. Stop rushing. Relieve the pressure to be healed already. And especially for the bosses out there, especially for the women who are successful, especially for the women who are building these multi-million-dollar empires, especially you, the leaders who are building these ministries, especially you. Relieve the pressure of arrival. Here's the thing. So many people, or so many of you, say, oh, I've done it there. I've prayed about it. Why am I still dealing with this? Whoo! That's for you who still stand up at night asking, why am I still dealing with this crap? I've prayed about it. I've been to therapy. I thought I submitted it to God. You are rushing the process. You are so eager to get to the finish line. Oh, I'm healed already, that you are missing some valuable stages in the process. Stop rushing the build job. Stop rushing. Because just like you didn't get here Just like all the stuff that happened in layers to get you where you are, healing happens in layers. It happens in layers. God had to take me back to that 2-year-old girl who was abandoned. My clients, I take them back to the root of the issue. When did you first start experiencing this trauma? When was the first time you experienced trauma? We're gonna go back to her because we gotta deal with her. And then once we deal with her, we can deal with the next thing. Then the next thing. So this, just like the trauma happened in layers, the pain happened in layers, healing happens in layers. It happens in layers. Building happens in layers. It happens in layers. So forget about this idea of I have to heal already. I have to arrive. And just trust the process. And you been in this space of, oh, I've done the therapy or I've prayed about it. Why am I still here? Why am I still dealing with this? What if this isn't a setback? What if this God is positioning you here right now for a deeper level of healing? What if God is positioning me to talk about this at this point for a deeper level of healing? Because why are you so eager to arrive? Why are you so eager to get to the finish line? That part. That part. What is this eagerness about? What is this? Oh, I'm healed. Girl, I'm healed. What is that about? And for me, it was about, I had seen myself as damaged goods for so long, and I felt as if that I would never have any value, that being saying that I am healed gave me value. It was as if it gave me the stamp of approval. If it was like it gave me that USDA stamp whatever. It was I have arrived. It was my I have arrived moment. That is why I was so eager to get to the finish line of I'm healed. What is your why? Why are you rushing? Why are you so eager to get to that point? Maybe that's the deeper level of healing that God is trying to highlight right now. But I don't want you to miss the stages. I don't want you to miss the layers. I don't want you to breeze through this thing and get to the end and you're still saying, why am I still dealing with this? Why is it still bothering me? Why? Healing is a lifestyle. It's a daily choice. It's you being aware. It's how you speak to yourself. It's how you respond instead of react. Healing is how you live and not just what you complete. It's not a to-do list. It's not something you just check off your list. It's not. It's not something you just check off your list. It is how you live. Healing shows up in every aspect of your life. So we can't rush it. We can't rush it just to say we did it. No. Mm-mm. And one thing I've learned, because I was a person who didn't empower herself. I was the person who, like, I would build somebody else up, but I didn't build myself up at all. And I had to learn how to empower others, truly empower others, by first empowering myself. And that was something that was built through daily practice, daily intentionality. And God restored me because I chose to stay engaged in this process. God is restoring me in other areas because I'm choosing daily to stay engaged in the process. And here's the kicker: you don't wait to become her. You practice being her daily. You don't wait to become her. You practice being her daily. You practice being healed daily. You practice being empowered. You practice being restored daily. You practice that daily. So ask yourself, how have I been embodying healing today? And not just chasing it. How have I been embodying healing today and not just chasing it? Because like I said, you have to be her daily. So I want you to stop pretending you're further along than you are. Release the pressure to be finished. Do the daily work. Feel, process, and then respond differently. And live like the healed version of you now, not later. Not later. Not later. Live like the healed version of you now and not later. That is what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do. And I need you to hear me. And hear me well as we wrap this conversation up. Healing is not a place you arrive to and check off. It's a way you live. It's a way you respond. It's a way you show up for yourself every single day. So stop rushing to be healed and start committing to become whole, one decision at a time. One decision at a time. One decision at a time. Why? Because you are her. You are healed, you are empowered, and you are restored. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.